So I was about 5 years old and I saw this commercial come on TV one day, and it was a boy like many of you saw running around with Donald and Goofy, and he was interacting with many different Disney characters, Peter Pan, Simba, and many more, and he was swinging around a giant key. And at the time, something about that commercial really captivated me. There's a lot of things. Maybe it was the first time I've ever seen a Disney video game, because up until that point I really only played whatever my parents brought me. I really wasn't too big of a gamer. Even though I did have a GameCube myself, I mainly just played WWE wrestling games. But something about that commercial really captured my attention, and it stayed in the back of my head for so many years. And eventually a couple of months went by and I learned that it was Kingdom Hearts, and it was only on the PS2 to my disappointment. A couple of years go by, then Kingdom Hearts 2 releases, and the same thing happens. I see the commercials, I find it super interesting, and I keep thinking about those commercials day in and day out, until eventually in 2007, a little bit before my birthday, one of my parents gets me a PS2. And obviously the first games I buy for the console are Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. And I play a couple of hours of Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, and then eventually I just stopped playing Kingdom Hearts 1, beat 2 all the way through, and then come back to 1. And for some reason from that point on, I was enthralled with the series, because later that year Chain of Memories came out. But I always found it so interesting that just from one 30-second commercial, that it captivated that much space in my mind, that I held on to that commercial and that memory for so many years, to the point when I first got a PS2, the first thing I played was a Kingdom Hearts game, and I always found that extremely interesting. And the thing is, Kingdom Hearts is a very unique series. It's a series that started as a conversation between Hironobu Sakaguchi and Shinji Hashimoto, talking about how only Disney characters could probably rival Mario in the video game space, which led to Shinji pitching this idea of Disney and Final Fantasy characters inhabiting the same world to a Disney executive. And this executive is unnamed till this day, but we have to thank them, because that eventually led to 9+ games of great memories for a lot of us. And honestly, thinking about it, back then, the combination of Disney characters and Final Fantasy characters being in the same game, or let alone the same media property, whether it was a video or a movie or something else, would have been insane to think about, but somehow Square Enix made it work. And for a couple of years, even as I got older, I've kind of wondered, why did I like Kingdom Hearts so much, and why did I always keep coming back to these games, and they were consistently some of the best things that I've ever played, and why did they resonate with me so much? And I thought about this, and it's nothing super deep or analytical, but I thought about something that I kind of see throughout the games, and maybe it's something that the game is trying to tell the player, is that we probably should enjoy the moment and not always worry about what's coming ahead. Learn to live in the now, more so, if I was to put it in another way. Throughout the Kingdom Hearts series, throughout various games, there's always an end goal. There's always a pressing matter in the back. In Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora is out to figure out what's going on with Organization 13, but is also trying to find his friend, and so on and so forth throughout the various Kingdom Hearts games. There's always some pressing matter that we know is going to lead into the end of the game, and is the overall arching plot linking all of these stories together. But I think something that a lot of people feel is a negative of the series is maybe a positive in a sense, because a lot of people find that the shortened Disney movie plots, or some of the filler plots that we got in Kingdom Hearts 2 and to an extent Kingdom Hearts 1 and other games in the series, are absolutely unnecessary sometimes. And I can admit, sometimes they do drag on a little longer than they need to, and they're a little bit uneventful for the most part, because we can guess what's going to happen throughout these worlds. But I think the message that is trying to be spoken to us in these moments is that we should enjoy the moments as it happens. A lot of people, when they summarize the Kingdom Hearts series, which they should, tend to skip over the Disney worlds. But I find it very interesting throughout all of the games, even with all of the problems that they have to face and the pressing issues that they have to solve, that Sora, Donald, and Goofy especially always enjoy the moment. And for example, in Olympus Coliseum in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's not necessary for these guys to actually participate in the Coliseum tournament. They were there to see if Mickey, Riku, or Kairi were there, and if not, they could have just left and then figured out how to seal the keyhole later on. But they didn't do that. They ended up participating in the tournament and kind of got a lesson about what it means to be true heroes. And Alice, being in Alice in Wonderland, was falsely accused of a crime she did not commit. It has nothing to do with finding the king, Riku, or Kairi, but again, they go out of their way to go and find evidence to help prove this girl's innocence, while it has nothing to do with their pressing issues or what the overall game is talking about. And I always found that very interesting throughout Kingdom Hearts 1 and other games, and I feel like that is reiterating the message that sometimes we need to take a step back, sit back, and even if we do have something that is right there creeping around the corner, whether you have a big paper you need to turn in or money is going to be tight this month, I honestly feel like this is something that the Kingdom Hearts series wants to express to us, because the Kingdom Hearts series was a game originally developed for kids. As it has gotten bigger, it obviously has gotten a lot more complicated, and we have matured with the series as it has matured with us, because it tackles different subjects as it has gotten older and as it has gotten more complicated to explain. But when we originally started off Kingdom Hearts in that first game, you're on an adventure as a young boy going around different worlds with different Disney characters, just trying to find his friends. Even with that big thing in the back of his head, always wondering where are his friends, are they safe, are they okay, he never fails to help out the people along the way and make friends doing that. And Sora is very childlike in the way that he does this, even though Sora is technically a child, but he's a teenager, and I think that's why a lot of people look on their childhood and teenage years very fondly. And that's not me saying that everybody's teen years and everybody's childhood was an amazing experience or a great time for them. I can't speak for everybody, and everybody has different life experiences, but I feel like that childlike wonder of just going out there, exploring something new and doing something different, and not worrying about what is going to happen the next day, and just living for that moment, enjoying the fun while it lasts, is something that I really enjoy about Kingdom Hearts. In Kingdom Hearts 1, where Riku, Kairi, and Sora are on a beach and just enjoying the sunset, knowing that the journey on their raft is going to probably be a tough one, they just sit there, enjoy each other's company, and watch the sunset and Birth by Sleep. Even with all of the crazy things going on between Ventus, Aqua, and Terra, they all managed to make a trip to Disney Town and all managed to help out the townspeople during the festival. Even though it has nothing to do with what their main goal is, they learn to enjoy the moment, help out people for what it is, and it's settled. And I can't help but enjoy things like that. So when people say that the Disney filler worlds are not necessary and I wish they would cut out a lot of the filler, I think that's kind of the point of it being there. You should just learn to enjoy it. Obviously, we all want to get to the big reveals of what's happening with Xehanort and the 13 Darknesses, but I don't feel like that's really any less important than Sora helping out Elsa in Arendelle with her powers and her sister's relationship. I don't feel like that's any less important, because that's just what Kingdom Hearts has been for a very long time. So I don't know if I'm making sense, and I'm just honestly rambling about my personal opinions about the series, about how I got into it, how crazy and unique that this series is, and many other things. But I do want to leave off this video with this. I feel like we should all just savor the moment. These last couple of days, hours, or even after Kingdom Hearts 3 has come out, just look back at this time and enjoy the time period between Kingdom Hearts 3's announcement and leading up to, because the Kingdom Hearts series, I don't think we're ever going to experience such a time like this ever again. And that's not a sad thing in my personal opinion, because I feel like Kingdom Hearts is going to keep thriving and being better than ever when the eventual game comes after Kingdom Hearts 3. But I feel like this period here of waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3, the 9 games building up to this final dramatic conclusion, I feel like it's definitely going to be something that will not be replicated, at least when it comes to this series. So with all of that being said, all I can say is just enjoy the moment.